right, today we are doing a react video from the YouTube channel by JC Rodriguez. Kind of interested to see what this video has. And I see on the screen already, I think you can see it too. Yeah, it's pertaining to quiet millionaires. I think I know what we got going on here, but let's jump right in and see what we see.
How long have you been married for?
34 years.
What are some things you do to be frugal?
We're very frugal. That's why we retired at 55 years old.
Did you guys invest into like 401k, Roth IRA?
Max it out. Max out retirement. If the company matches it, you're silly not to.
How many years have you been investing now?
Since 90.
Are you now net worth millionaires?
Yep. And that's the point. You don't have to know about investing. Just invest everything you can into the market.
Okay.
Put it into ETFs, exchange traded funds, because it goes over the whole market. You don't need to know what you're doing. Just do that.
The topic of quiet millionaires. They've covered basically two topics, I think, so far. So frugality was the first one, just interesting take. And the other was investing, and essentially the thesis was keep it simple. I like it, right? I like how they talk about frugality first. Yeah, I feel like it's like this understanding of what it means to be wealthy nowadays in this like influencer age is very much on the other end of the spectrum of like flash and like ostentatious wealth, very visible wealth. And yet the first question that was asked and answered was about frugality. This whole topic, so the quiet millionaires take, it kind of reminds me, there's that book, The Millionaire Next Door. And it's this whole idea of so many people, and these are so many of our clients, to be honest, of you would never know, right? So obviously the influencer on the posting on YouTube and then the Bugatti, the whatever they got, the watches and everything else, you kind of assume like, oh, I assume their wealth, but that's this whole idea of the millionaire next door is it's blocking and tackling, right? It's minding your budget. It's saving early and often. It's don't get crazy. Don't chase the most recent fad on the investment space. He's just talking about low-cost indexed ETFs, which actually is most of what our portfolios are in as well. And just sticking to that and not getting crazy with it. And then you can see, I assume we're going to hear a little bit more from these folks about kind of what the outcome of all that was. So this is interesting to hear some more.
Hey, you know it. We put our both boys through college and grad school. They have no loans. We paid off our houses, our cars, and retired at 55. Now we travel. So we're just regular people.
What kind of cars have you been driving throughout these years?
Mostly Toyotas because they last forever.
Most of them have been like 2-year-old cars, not brand new until recently.
Oh yeah, you've come to that point where now.
One car last week.
Ask the old lady what her favorite car is now that she just got.
How have you now treated yourself?
I just got a 2023 Slingshot. I drive it everywhere.
And you still didn't need to get it brand new?
2
No.
years old.
3,000 miles.
The Toyotas, right? So yeah, so this is the whole idea. So it's not trying to be flashy. It's a heightened perception of value. Value, not from the standpoint of like, what kind of status will this vehicle grant me, but value in the terms of, they're talking about buying vehicles a couple years old, because I think that's like the maximal, like it's already kind of depreciated, so you acquire it, then you don't buy a new car, and then you've heard you drive it off the lot and you automatically lost money, right? So that's kind of, I think, what they're alluding to there. But you know, it's interesting. So she did splurge. They drove Toyotas their entire forever because they're of good value and they last forever. And then now recently she quote unquote treated herself. Man, I think people would be surprised how much this topic in particular comes up in our conversation with clients. And by this topic, I mean, if you think about like someone like me and what I do for work, people often assume I encourage people to not spend so much, which is fair. We do some of that, right, when necessary. But if you figure, a lot of our clients are wealthy. I mean, they're like these folks, right? They've successfully accumulated wealth and they hire a wealth manager, right? Makes sense. How is it that they have been able to accumulate wealth? These folks, case in point, that frugal mindset, the heightened perception of value, right? No, we're not going to spend money on that. There's no value there. We're going to save money. We're going to buy these things. We're invest here. That's where the real value is. Well, that mindset and that focus and that discipline has two things. Well, a couple things, right? But I'll point to a couple things, right? One, it helps them accumulate wealth. But two, it can create this difficulty in retirement once the accumulation is complete, actually enjoying it, actually like spending it and like whatever that is, right? Whatever brings you fulfillment. And so we see that day in and day out, kind of navigating those conversations of, it's like, I don't know if you ever saw that movie Inception. It's like, we're going way down the rabbit hole here, but like, just like the seed of the idea that just takes root, and then it kind of like carries out throughout the rest of your life, and you just like, it's your assumption, it's not even ever questioned. Well, for a lot of people for money, successful people for money, that idea is, I gotta save. I can't spend, I gotta save, I gotta invest, I gotta be like frugal and diligent and be a good steward of my resources. It's a great thing, right? If you're gonna have to pick one core money idea, it's not a bad one, right? But once your circumstances are such that you did it, you're there. We do sometimes help clients navigate a change in mindset of, now I can enjoy, now I can, whatever that looks like, right? Maybe it's buying a slingshot, or maybe it's like gifting money to family members, maybe it's going on trips. Man, I got to tell you, some of the most difficult client conversations are where you will demonstrate to the client every which way they did it. They did the thing. They accumulated the wealth. They're not going to run out of money. They're going to be taken care of. And they're like saying, I wish we could do this. I wish we could do that. And you go like, do it. You can do it. It's safe. You're going to be okay. And they hesitate, man, that's tough to see. That's tough to see. So kudos to these folks. They did the thing, right? They were disciplined. They said, I think they put 2 kids through college and paid a bunch of taxes along the way to help, our country. And then they're enjoying now, right? So they were able to kind of turn that corner and have some fun too. So that's really cool to see. I guess, if I kind of reflect on it, I suppose the operative concept there would be intentionality. Because notice, she didn't get the slingshot while they were putting the kids through college. You know what I mean? Like, they waited, right? So, I mean, goodness, can you just think, how expensive college is nowadays? Some of you guys know all too well. And so the fact that they were able to put 2 kids through school and then get them graduated, I assume, based on how they phrase that, with no student loans. Wow, what a gift to give to the next generation. And so meanwhile, as they're putting those kids through school, they're hopping in those Toyotas every day to head to work. You know what I mean? And maybe they're seeing coworkers driving slingshots or whatever else, right? And so it was that sacrifice. It was that appropriate kind of order of priorities according to what means the most to them. And now, hey, they did that. They got the kids through school. And so in our firm, we talk about this idea of more than wealth. So as a wealth management company, you might hear that and go, what do you mean more than wealth? It's more wealth management. Like, talk about the wealth. Well, the wealth is important, obviously, but you don't have to go too deep below the surface before you start talking about really like important life priority type stuff. And so fostering that intentionality at every point on the timeline really leads to that sense of fulfillment. Whether you're still working and driving the Toyota and putting the kids through school, at least you have this awareness of like, this is why we're doing this, right? And then in retirement, you did it, you put the kids through school and like buying a slingshot, and you know why you're doing it there, right? So it just kind of lends itself to more fulfillment out of the wealth itself, as opposed to just wealth at all costs and no enjoyment or no alignment to one's values. So kudos to these folks, and a great interview topic for this gentleman to do too. I'm glad we are highlighting these topics in general. So I appreciate you joining me for the Reacts video. Hope you enjoy it. If you did like this, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Let us know in the comments. We'll keep doing more of these.